Peace, y'all. It's Sav, and I'm back with another video. And I ain't gonna hold you. We gonna get right into the video. You see the title, Woman Goes Off on Panel. She has a valid point, but the panel hates on her because that's what they do.
So you sound stupid because if bread goes up $10 a fucking loaf, is it my fault for having children? You sound stupid. It's the government. When you do have children, then you'll understand. But since you're childless, you don't have any understanding. You sound stupid because the cost of living is going up. Then it is my negligence to have children.
Yeah, it's negligent. It's negligent to have children. You can't afford.
It's crazy. Like the woman started out with doing all these ad hominem attacks. This woman right here at her, and she was just making a point. And then, well, we'll get to later on in the video.
It's
what are you created for?
It's borderline child abuse to have children. You can't afford.
Sure, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Y'all should literally be neutered.
You sound stupid.
Damn.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
You having kids you can't afford, and then expecting everybody else to have those kids when they're Tiffany, you're interrupting me at this point for real.
No, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
So, all the contraceptives in the world, free. All the condoms in the world, all the birth control in the world.
This girl, let's talk about not having kids.
And then the rest of the world is supposed to be okay because you're negligent with your reproductive system.
You sound crazy.
That shit is negligent as hell. Having kids you can't afford. So when the government decides to pull it back, if your kids have to suffer, let them suffer. It's your fault.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem with the whole SNAP. And this is what I've been saying for a long time. All these women say they love their kids. They love their kids. They'll do anything for them kids except go get a job. Because when it was, and now the government's about to open. They said possibly by the end of the week. So all that's coming back. But when they said, well, SNAP ain't going to be here. I ain't going to get no SNAP benefits. Nobody was like, let's go run and get a job and take care of these kids. No, that's wrong. You have to pay for me and blah, blah, blah shit. That's all they said. That's all they kept saying. That's all I kept seeing all these videos. Some people were like, yo, my kid's going to eat. We going to survive. I'm going to do what I have to do. But a lot of people were like, no, you have to pay for me. I got to do this. I don't have to work. Blah, blah, blah. You have to take care of these kids. So all these women that talk about how, I do everything for my kids and I love my kids and my kids in my world, you guys are lying. You guys are fucking liars. So this woman saying how it's negligent, how you produce those kids. Nobody told you to lay down and let somebody ejaculate inside of you and bring a baby to the world, and now you talking about, not even like earlier on. I've heard of people like first couple of months, they need a SNAP. Formula's expensive, a year, but the second they get off it, they got off it. Now these motherfuckers just be on it from day one till they 18. You just be having your kids on it, that whole program. And then what happens is you have another kid within that time and another kid within that time. So now you just keep running it back. The system. You don't have to work.
You sound stupid because if bread goes up $10 a fucking loaf, is it my fault for having children? You sound stupid. It's the government.
Let them eat less.
When you do have children,
let them eat less.
Then you'll understand. But since you're childless, you don't have any understanding.
See, and then they go with that. Since you don't have a child, you don't have any understanding. No, I don't have a child because I have understanding, because I understand that when I bring my child into this world, it is my responsibility. Everything that he or she goes through, because I plan on having multiple kids, that they go through is going to be my responsibility. I know I'm going to have to take care of it. I know I'm going to have to get them the diapers, get them the formula. I'm going to have to get them the food. If they get sick, I'm going to have to take care of that. I think about stuff like that. And a lot of parents don't think about stuff like that. They just fucking, and now you got a kid. Now, I've thought about all of that shit for a long time. For a long time. So I know what I know. I got to be a certain type of stable, at least for my opinion. I need to be a certain type of stable before I bring kids into this world. And not saying I'm not totally stable, because I'm always working at a job. But the problem is with me is I'll leave that job and switch up and get a different job, because I ain't got no responsibilities like that. You know, I pay my rent, but you know, ain't no kids out here, nothing like that. So I know there's a certain type of stability I want for my kids. I know I want them to never see the inside of an apartment. I want them to be in a house, and that's always been their house. And they always remember. I still remember the first house that we lived at, the address, because we lived there from since I was like 1 to when we moved, when I was like 22, something like that. Like then my parents sold the house and they end up coming down to Florida, and so the story begins, you know. But it's like, yeah, like I think the people that don't have kids are more understanding than the ones with kids, because we're thinking about everything that we have to do to take care of those kids. So that argument saying you don't have kids, you don't understand, is some bullshit.
You sound stupid to say, because the cost of living is going.
She just keep attacking her. She never heard this one right here, never said anything about her, not one time, but she'll keep attacking her.
That it is my negligence to have children.
Yeah, it's negligent. It's negligent to have children you can't afford. It's
what are you created for?
It's borderline child abuse to have children you can't afford.
Sure, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Y'all should literally be neutered.
You sound stupid.
Y'all should have to take mental tests and all of that to produce kids.
But this is what I'm saying. You don't say nothing about the rich
have kids. It's ridiculous.
So again, because rent is $1,500 for one bedroom.
First of all, I don't know what city you're in, but the rent should not be $1,500 for one bedroom. There's other places you can rent and live that are cheaper than that. I don't know what city you're in, but you know that matters. You should go to a different city. Maybe you should go to a cheaper area. You know, I'm not saying take away from your safety or anything like that, but just in my area alone, my rent is for one bedroom is $1,300, and it wasn't $1,300 when I first moved in here, but it kept going up. So next year I'm moving to a spot that's down the street, still a nice, safe area. Actually, it's a safer area than this area, and the rent is cheaper. You know, it's like down to like 1,000 again. You know, 1,000, maybe 1,100. I already looked it up and looked into it. So it's like you're acting like you can't go and find a spot. You just like living at that spot. And the crazy part is she's complaining about rent, and she got a husband. I know she don't pay no rent. I know she don't pay no rent. I know she don't even give up half.
Negligent for having a family.
Mm-hmm.
Your anger is towards the wrong people.
If you can't afford it.
No, baby. You're okay with being a single woman. I love being a mother. And that's why I work. That's why I have an education.
I'm not crying over.
That's not. See, again with these attacks, we're talking about she's okay with being a single woman. We're talking about the point that it is negligent to have kids that you can't afford. When we have people that are dropping babies in this society and then run and they go to the government to get the housing for the babies or get SNAP for the babies and shit like that, and then they're using that money on, because I seen a video recently where somebody tried to use the EBT card at a hair store, and the hair store was like, well, I can't use no fucking EBT card, that's for food. And she was like, oh, everybody else takes this. Yeah, places that sell food. I mean, I don't sell food, I sell hair. And then she tried to snatch one of the hair bundles and run off with it and shit like that. And you know, I don't the video kind of cut off, so I don't know if she got away or if they grabbed her or anything. But probably hit that button. A lot of people don't know that they got that button behind counter that they could hit and then magnetize the door closed, so you ain't getting out anyway. So you might as well, like, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about a separate point, and then you start throwing these attacks on her, and she didn't attack you not one time. You made it personal. You was like, I love being a mother. Okay, that's dope. You love being a mother. That's why I work. Okay, that's dope. We're not talking about the ones that work. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the ones that don't work and don't want to get a job and are choosing not to get a job because they feel the government should pay for these bastard kids that are running around.
I'm complaining.
My kids ain't gonna be hungry.
Complaining about Trump doing what Trump gonna do.
But my kids
That's
are
what Trump gonna do. But it's just,
you want to be dependent on a country, have kids you can't take care of, and then expect the same country
And this the part, and this another part. And I'm gonna let
to critique in a negative way to take care of you and your illegitimate your little
I know you're not talking.
all right, stop it. Yes, she was never talking about you, but there's a lot of people out here, Black people, you know, a lot of people that will shit on this country, shit on America. Oh, this in the past, and I get it. Some things are warranted, but then you want to depend on the government to pay for your existence. That does not make sense. If this government was so bad to the point where everything about this government is the worst, why are you depending on the government? Fuck that government. You know what I mean? America is a place where I can say fuck the government, one, and not be arrested or thrown in jail. Two, it's also a place where you can get another job. You can get a job of a company where somebody who agrees with you, you know, and work for them. You don't have to be dependent on the government. People sit up there and make it seem like they have to be dependent on the government. They do not. They're choosing that. But at the same time, at the same side of your neck, you'll talk bad about the government. But then you'll be like, but the government's giving me, but the government got to do this for me. They got to do this for me. They got to do this for me. It doesn't make sense. But a lot of these people don't have logic or thoughts in their brain.
Assume you're not talking about tyranny. You're speaking in general, because nobody told your pretty brown self that mothers can't afford their kids. But like
they can't afford their kids.
The rich gets help, but you're complaining about the poor.
They can't afford their kids because rich people take care of their kids. Rich people are on food stamps. Rich people are on Section 8.
Sherelle, we take care of their kids.
Rich people can afford their kids. Y'all
because of our taxes.
And y'all are crying about having kids you can't afford because you don't want to close your legs.
That's free. Because of
not
our taxes,
it's free.
And not because of your taxes. If you're gonna take care of your kids, you're gonna take care of your kids. Don't mix me with that tax shit. Mix me with that rich, poor, whatever it is. Because I know some poor women out here, some poor parents out here that they stayed down together and they took care of their kids, you know, and they wasn't making the best. It was, you know, they needed each side to do what each side did to become a part of it. But they took care of their kids. I know some parents out here that, because I got some friends out here. I got some friends whose parents, you know, weren't doing so hot, you know, and still knew that, hey, man, where he's staying at, where we're staying at right now is not a good area. I can't put my kid into this school system because it's not going to teach him anything but except to be a criminal and a factory worker. So I have to either A, you know, find a better job, B, make some more hours. I know it's going to suck for a little bit, but I got to put him into a better system so he could see something else. I know people that have done that. So if you want to take care of your kids, you're going to do it. And I also know people that have been like, well, fuck it. You know, that school was good enough for me. It's good enough for him. But when you went to that school and when your kid is now going to that school, it's two completely different schools. But, you know,
yeah.
To each his
own.
No.
That's very free. That's some very free shit.
I wasn't going to argue with him, and I can't argue with someone that has no experience. Go ahead, baby girl.
I also found the clip. A bunch of experience watching a bunch of women who can't afford to take care of their kids.
So what, you just opening your legs and not having no kids? Well, what that make you pointless?
I don't open my legs.
Anyways, Alexis from Texas.
I'm not opening my legs. Sorry to break
talk about women with kids. You ain't got nothing to show for what.
All you do is attack her. You said I got no reason to be arguing with her, and all you did was argue with her. Secondly, and then all you did was attack her. She's making a point to the topic. You haven't made not one point to the topic.
got going on.
I'm not having kids. I can't take care of it. Crying on the internet about
no, that's not why you're not having kids. But okay, God gives kids to certain people. There's a reason you don't have any.
Well, if that's the case, God's giving a lot of these kids to the wrong people, because a lot of these trash ass people out here are having kids, and we know they're trash because the kids are growing up and they're doing trash ass shit, you know, and then they're having kids too, and they're having trash ass shit. You know what I mean? So we want to say trash, criminal, all this YN shit. You know what I mean? All these chicks wilding around and hitting men and thinking that shit cool and yada yada yada, have 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. That's trash. That's trash. That's trash. Not married to none of them, wasn't with none of them, just random dudes you don't know who the father is. That's trash. That's the trash part. Anybody got an issue with that, come find me. I said what I said.
Here's the interesting.
Just because you lay down and let niggas nut in your body don't make you special.
And they also put a ring on it. Where's your ring? They also put a ring on it. Where's your ring? Where's your ring?
Just says she's single and she doesn't have any kids. So why, see, again, with the attacking, like she's not attacking you. You attacked her. And she just said, just because you let somebody nut in your body doesn't make you special, which is true. Because a lot of people out here got kids. That doesn't make you special. Just like her not having kids, it doesn't make her special because a lot of people don't have kids out here. Both of y'all are getting off point.
To marry
they also put a ring on it.
Tyranny, I'd have a ring.
They also put
the topic. What y'all? Let me ask you a question. What y'all willing to do? What y'all willing to do? Y'all willing to finish the conversation or disparage each other? Do people just say, I like this car, so I'm going to buy it, even if the payments aren't affordable?
Right.
Because when we talk,
yes, people do that because since the government shutdown happened, and even probably going further, a lot of people have been losing their cars. A lot of people been getting their cars repossessed. So yeah, people look at it and be like, oh, I got the money right now, and not think about the next month and the next month and the next month and the next month. See, that's the reason why I still got my 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I love it to death. Solid, runs all the time. The only thing I gotta do is fix the side panel. You know what I mean? I'll fix it one of these days. And I gotta fix the brakes. But yeah, I gotta get to that soon too. But the best part about that is the only thing I got to pay for that car every month is insurance. Insurance, you know, and I was thinking about buying a new car recently. I was just in August, I was thinking about getting I was going to get one of the pickup trucks. Then I ended up deciding on an SUV that was solid. I don't remember what, I think it was a GMC or something like that, but I ended up deciding on the SUV, and I talked the guy down, and he was like, I think the payment was like, it was like $225 or something like that. And I was like, I don't want to do $225 for 5 years. And it's not a new car. Like, no, I'm not going to do that on a used car. I might as well keep the car I got. So I put my car in the shop and got it fixed up a little bit better because it was having some issues. That's why I started to look to another car. But the best thing about that car, and people like, oh, you flaunt that like it's so amazing. Hell yeah, not having no payments. Y'all run around and have those payments and pay insurance, and when something break down, then you got to pay for that. Yeah, not having those payments where I could save that money every month, I could do something else with it. Yes, that is a big deal. That is a big deal to me. That is amazing.
Talk about things that are sensitive to people, they can't see it beyond the exact example. But what it is there's a cost associated with a child, right?
Facts.
And that child is your responsibility, just like a car would be your responsibility. But because it's a person, we can't see past that part. So there's several costs. What's this? There's several costs. Now I have kids, so that don't work, right? So now right? So there's several costs associated with the kid, a lot of which you can't solve for, right? Kids are born with so many different things that things just happen, right? And so if I cannot afford the things I can't even solve for, right? Should I put myself in that child or that car in that predicament? Or do I wait until I get to a better place to then do these things? Because that's what she's saying. It ain't about you, it's about the construct.
No, because what she's saying, it doesn't make sense. If the car started off at $500, I can afford it, right? But then if the car goes up $1,500, am I now wrong for getting the car? The car wasn't expensive when I first had it.
Wait. You're saying that's right. And the people that think like that is the ones that run around and having 8 kids by 8 different men. Because you're looking at the car from when it was a baby, but you're not looking at I'm saying car. So you're looking at the car from the first year, but you're not looking at the car from the 10th year perspective. What if the engine go out? I mean, what if the transmission go? What if something else go? And I gotta put all this. What if something in the air conditioning go? And I gotta put all this shit and get the compressor back. It's a lot that comes with it. The maintenance to keep it up. Yes. So you will be thinking at that time, like, damn, man, I just got a little regular car, a little $3,000 car or something like that, and I wouldn't have to. And then on top of that, with paying the maintenance, you still got to pay those payments. You still got to pay that $500 every month. You still got to pay that $500 every month. Then you got to pay the maintenance. Then you got whatever else others going on. Tire get fixed. Like you got to think about all that stuff with a kid. Like so, my kid in year 1, I don't know what formula is now, but when my boy had a kid, it was like $50 a thing for some formula, right? So year 1, that's already a lot of fucking money spending on formula on a kid. It's only going to go up from there. Now you might get you'll get the years where that kid starts to be able to take care of himself and he can start feeding himself a little better and you ain't got to do all crazy. But there's stuff he's going to need. Like my big ass, I'm 6'8". I know my kid's gonna need some clothes. You know what I mean? I can't have them in just they're gonna need some clothes that fit them. Like, they're gonna be big and they're gonna need that soon. I started getting 6 foot. I got 6 foot at like 12. So like you got to think about costs like that. You can't be like, I can't get you clothes because I can't afford it right now. That ain't how that works. Like I can't have my son out there in some high waters and shit like that.
It's a great example.
Let me say it back to everybody. Everybody mute before I drop y'all down, okay? So, and I love y'all. Literally, everybody up here, but y'all get on my nerves, okay? Let's see the nigga with the hat. Look, both of them got hats on. They don't know who I'm talking about. So now that's interesting. So let's hear the retort. Her retort is this: Eve, fix your face. Eve, why don't you play poker? You smiling, nodding. Good gracious. So she's saying, okay, the affordability of my car when I bought it was $400, $500. Her retort is the car note doesn't change. But with inflation, cost of living, things of that nature that I don't control, right? Now, the cost for this kid to live is exponentially increasing. A lot of that's happening outside of me, right? I'm not putting tariffs on things. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing X. So now you putting it on me when a lot is outside my control. So when the government steps in, don't be mad at me because I control the controllables. I don't control everything else.
Yeah. That
is actually a pretty decent retort, honestly.
Yeah.
That's not a good retort. That's not a good retort because the controllables is what we're talking about. You control him eating. You control him living in whatever house setting you want to have him live in. You control, his doctor visits and his maintenance to keep up with that. That's the best way. That's one of the best ways to, anything could happen. Blah, blah, blah. You could get sick. I had meningitis at one point, just randomly out of nowhere got it. But, my parents kept me up with the doctor visits. Parents kept me up with the dentist visits. So things didn't just go wrong, and then all of a sudden we got a big bill, like we didn't catch something and then all of a sudden we got a big bill, something like that, But you control the eat. You don't control his eating to an extent, but even me as a kid, as a kid, I didn't really eat a lot, but then I got older around 12, 13, I started eating a lot more. But like, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. Just because the government price of bread, eggs, cheese, all that shit always go up. And you got to find a way to take care of your family. You can't just be like, well, the governments make it hard for me to take care of my family, so they need to help out. No, you got to take care of your family, because in other countries, this wouldn't even be a question. This wouldn't even be a thought. They would be like, what are you talking about? Healthcare, social programs and shit. What are we talking about here?
So this
you don't think so, Cheek? I'm just saying when I heard it. So Sherelle, you want to go, or because Cheek said no, that's not a good retort. He gonna tell us why. Go ahead, Cheek.
Yeah, I think the trying to use the car as an analogy is not good, because children are not cars. And even if you do purchase a car, but you don't make sure you can maintain the car, you shouldn't get it. Like, for example, if you say you want a Rolls Royce, but you got Honda money, but you got just enough to get a Rolls Royce, don't be like, it's not my fault I got a Rolls Royce and now the tire blown out and that costs $20,000 to fix because it's a Rolls Royce.
But Cheek, you are saying that analogy actually does work, because the maintenance you still got to be able to afford.
But the analogy, not the car itself, but the idea that the price stays the same because you have a monthly payment.
Oh, okay.
The reason why that doesn't work is because kids are not is no consistency in price with children. Like you said, you have ailments. Like you said, you have diapers. You have all those things are affected by inflation and other thing else. If you don't have a gap where you can measure or think those things out, you shouldn't have children. That's why it's called Planned Parenthood, not unplanned parenthood. If you're not planning your parenthood, you're fucking up. You are. You're messing up the kid and potentially yourself and your bank account. All these things have to come into place when it comes to having children. And most people don't do it, which is why so many kids are fucked up, which is why we need these governmental programs. I'm not against it. I'm for governmental programs. And I think that the foot of the bill shouldn't go to middle class.
Wow.
These higher.
We disagree on that. I don't know if I'm for governmental programs. I don't think I am. I think now it'll be hard to go away from them, but I think it would be better off if we went away from them. You know, some things, I guess, Section 8 housing, you know, because you got to have affordable housing. People keep jacking up the housing prices out here. A little bit of food, because I heard about this one chick. She's a college student. She said because she got all these eating diseases or disorders, whatever they're called, and stuff, that she couldn't get a meal plan. So she had to get on SNAP because she's a broke college student. It's her first year. And that's the way she's able to eat the things that she needs to eat for her body. I've heard of stuff like that. So I would say give it to the elderly, give it to the disabled, give it to the veterans. Those are the first three I would give it to. Now, everybody after that, we would have to look into it a little bit more. Everybody at that, because even with that broke college student, it's like, okay, but you can't get up and go work and make money. You're talking about you going to college full time. So there's not one day where you're not off and you don't work. There's not a day where you don't. Let's be honest. There's people that work real jobs and go to college full time. So you telling me you couldn't go get a job at McDonald's? I did that when that's why McDonald's was one of my first jobs, because my fat ass liked McDonald's, you know. And I ain't like it. I liked it at that time. McDonald's was good at that time. It's like 2010, 2011. Like, McDonald's was solid at that time. Now it's just a bunch of shit. But I would get, you know, during my shift, I would eat the food during my shift. Like the stuff that came back, like, or we made the order wrong, I would eat that shit. You know what I mean? During lunch or during my lunch break on my shift, or my break on my shift, I would eat, you know, one of their sandwiches. And then when I would leave for the day, I would take home like 5-6 sandwiches. I'm not lying. I would take home burgers. I take home fish sandwiches. I take home triple fish sandwiches, stuff that I'm making there. I'm eating Rolo shakes, you know. So it's ways to get around it if you really want to be honest. But people just think run to the government, you know, and that shows their mind up here, their fortitude up here, like what's going on up here, because you'll talk all that shit about the government and everything, but the first time you have an issue, run to the government. And this is one of the things, I don't really smoke anymore, marijuana. I stopped that. But when I used to smoke marijuana, People like, oh, it's gonna start becoming legal. It's gonna start becoming legal. You should get on the legal stuff. I told them all, fuck that. Don't bring that to me. Don't give me no cards. Don't leave nothing in my car. Don't say I need to join, because why the fuck would I want the government in my business? Oh, it's cheaper if you get it from the dispensary. Oh, they'll give you more. Why would I want the government growing the marijuana for me and then putting all those fucking chemicals in it, fucking up my brain, and then they're in my business? Because that's what's gonna happen. Once you get on that medical card, I don't care what anybody say. You may not have gotten to any trouble or anything like that, but once you get into that medical card shit, you're on file with the government that you're on medical marijuana, you're on drugs and shit like that. So there might be some jobs where you can get, whether you got that card or not. They ain't gonna tell you. You're just practically saying, yeah, I'm on drugs. So I don't want no government in my business. If I decide to smoke, one is stuff that from people that I know, either they grow it or I know where they get it from or how they, the type of people they are when they smoke. But I could taste it when I'm lighting it up and have all that chemicals and shit in there. I could feel it in my body. I could feel how quickly I'll knock out, I'll KO or some shit like that. And then I'll be back. Like, it's not even the same type of high how it used to be, because we running around and putting all these chemicals in it, letting the government put all these chemicals in it. Even Pete Davidson talked about it. Even Julius Randle, one of my favorite basketball players, talked about it. There's other people that have talked about it too. Like, how weed was when I was growing up, you could smoke a blunt and be high all day. I'm not lying. You could be high all day in class. You know what I mean? Or not in class, but you could be dumb high, right? Now it's like you smoke a blunt and you got to roll up another blunt just to be high. And then you got to roll up another blunt just to be high. It's like people just will smoke all day. Like, nah, I'm not trying to waste my life away on that government weed that they put all these chemicals in. We already know what they do with our food. Why would I want to do it on something that's supposed to be pure from the earth? And now they fucking that up too. And now I'm on their radar, because, who's to say I don't want to sign up for a job or whatever it is and shit like that, and they end up go back and looking and be like, but you was on medical marijuana, so that means you're on drugs and shit like that. I don't want none of that government shit in my life.
Executives with billions of dollars, I understand they pay most of the taxes, but they also have ways around taxes. The same way Donald Trump had it, as openly admitted, I found a way to get around this stuff. So I do think that as a society, we should have some type of governmental help for the people in the society, because we all contribute to a thing. That's my stance. But as far as the card thing, I think I proved what I was trying to say.
And I also think that people on Snap, if you're saying we all contribute to it, where there's a lot of people on Snap that don't work, don't make any money, that's why they qualify for it. Well, then they should have to make some type of money. It should be like Canada, where you still have to put in some type of money to access our free healthcare. You can't just not work or not do anything to access our healthcare. So it should be something like that. They actually put in some work, some hours to justify why they're getting that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you understood what I was saying, Cheeky. But okay.
And this is also the thing. No, majority of, I would say 85% of parents never said, how much is this kid gonna cost? They were fucking and they got nutted in. And that's how a baby got here. Stop trying to make it seem like these are responsible adults. They're irresponsible, and sometimes they don't even know the men who are nutting in them. This is why a lot of kids are growing up in a broken home. That's just the cause. That's very irresponsible.
But you sound like you hate women. I don't think you hate men. I think you hate women.
Here they go with the ad hominem attacks. Here she go with the attacks again, attacking her, because we're talking about a point. We're talking about a point that it has to do with. But every time you go to talk about that point, she come up with some bullshit.
The first child, they'll have another one. Mothers. Then they'll have another one. And they'll have
mothers. One. And I think it's because you want to be one. No matter if
it's a different man, they'll have another one by another man, and another man can come and they'll have another one by
Terrell, who hurt you, girl? What woman hurt you?
That who hurt you. That's what they always say when they're losing. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? That's what they always say when they're losing.
Oh my God. I promise you.
You hate mothers. I never hear you say anything positive about a mother.
I promise you.
Really, we still got to get everybody else in.
I promise you.
But I'm just saying she don't sound like she like mothers, and I think that's
I promise
prevalent.
Well, it's your show.
You promised me what?
I'm trying to help
you
you, like help me. I'm trying to help you help me without having to tell you how to hush. No,
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm just saying the way you talk.
Talking through everybody else shit is gonna be a problem. Then I'm gonna keep doing it. You won't get a.
But you sound like you hate mothers. That's what I'm saying.
She never said that not one time. She didn't even sound like that. She just said this is a symptom to the problem. You know, if you got women that's not planning it, even this guy said it. If you're not planning the parenthood, you're fucking up. And that's why she said 85% of people are just getting nutted in. 85% of them are not planning the parenthood. What are you not getting that she's correlating the same? They're talking about the same thing right here. And that's how I know she never listened. She doesn't listen. I mean, I don't know about her and her husband relationship. I hope they got a good relationship. I hope they stable. I hope they make it a long time. You know what I mean? Raise the kid right and everything. But you're clearly not listening on this conversation. So I hope you don't do him like that.
You don't say nothing. Who let random niggas nutting you, regardless of the results. You keep having kids.
You don't think I'm not gonna do this argue with you.
Bitch. You're offended because you're the lame dumbass bitches who don't go out here and apply yourself. Go get a
then let me
or work any type of harder, and you want somebody to take care of your You tyranny.
Bro, you want somebody to take care of your disrespectful. Did you call my children retarded?
You was being disrespectful the whole time. You was being disrespectful to her the whole time. She sounds stupid. She hate mothers. She hate women. You was saying all types of disrespectful shit. So now she finally get it back on your tip because she didn't say nothing to you the whole time. Now she finally get back on it. Now she's, what's wrong with you? You be, see, that's that victim shit. That's that victimhood shit.
No, you're it. You're the problem, and most people move like you. That's a first world issue. People have reason that they don't. And let's talk about.
Yeah, but you just got married. I mean, you say it in this video because these other ones said all the time they've been up here, but they said that at the end of the video. They didn't know you were married. We don't know how old the kid is. We don't know if you just had the kid or not. Now that's the question. Because if you had the kid before you got married, then you did the same thing that she's talking about. Now, if you had the kid after you got married, then you planned it. Now, if you got married because y'all got pregnant, that can go either way. But I would say that still, you guys didn't think about it.
Cars. Let's talk about how niggas really can't afford cars. So they have people who have in-house finances so that you get having to pull your credit that you don't have so that you can go get a car that you can't afford for them to get repo. Let's talk about niggas who go get CPNs. Fake fucking people, dead people's social security cards. Dead people's social security numbers so that they can go get cars that they can't afford. That's what people do. That's what people do in America.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
See, she always keep coming with the bullshit. Are you okay? First you said she hate mothers, she hate women, all this stuff. So then she switched up and started talking about what men are doing wrong. And now it's, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong with you, sis? No. You just said how she hate women because of what she was saying, even though it correlated to the topic. And this guy also said it down here, you know, but now, because you just was never listening to her, now she switched up and started speaking about how men have all their issues too. Now it's, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Tyranny?
Talk to people about who they even are so that they can purchase some shit so they can shine on Instagram. Nobody.
Hold on, DJ, hold on. Sherelle, what's
these kids? They're getting
Sherelle. Calm down.
And if the government says it's time to suffer, if Big Daddy says it's time to suffer.
Calm down. What's wrong with you, girl?
Suffer. That's the way you want to live your life.
Sherelle,
you put yourself in.
Sherelle, calm down.
First of all, that shit look like it's Texas in the background. You can't lie to me and tell me that you got a 1-bedroom in Texas for $1,500 when I know you can probably go get a house for that price, you know, or like a house to rent for that price. You got a whole lot more, or get a house cheaper than that. I mean, that's something I got to look up real quick because I got to know. I gotta know real quick. I should chat GPT it, but I'm gonna Google it. House for rent, Texas, 1,500 a month. Let's just see what pop up, because I'm not in Texas. Oh, first thing that popped up. 5,855 houses for rent in Texas under $1,500. And these ain't bad in here. 3 bedrooms, 1,500. This one got 3 beds for 1,400. This one got 3 beds for 1,400 as well. I'll show y'all. I don't know if y'all looking at it. My phone, y'all can see that. Say 1,400. This first one up here. Say 1,500 on that thing. 1,500. And these are all over. Lufkin. I've never heard of Lufkin. Some was in Houston. Okay. Let's see. This next one is in Fort Worth. Yeah, I've been to Dallas, Fort Worth. It's actually there's some very nice areas over there. This one is Fort Worth, 1,450. Let's see. They got a 2-bed home in Houston, Texas for $1,000. That's a room for you and your kid. So let's see, for you talk all that shit, talking about, see, that's how you do it. If you can't afford where you at, you downsize. You downsize. People don't think about that. That's exactly how you do it. You downsize. So it's 1,500 for a 1-bedroom. I just looked up multiple houses where it's 1,500 for a 3-bedroom. You got more room, more space. You can do more stuff with it. You got a whole yard and shit out there and everything. You can grow your own food. It's Texas, so it's a warm tropical climate. You figure out ways to fuck around it. You see that something's coming, you plan for that something coming, and you do something about it. You don't just sit there like a bump on the log and be like, well, how am I going to eat? How am I going to get to it? No, you figure out something about it. That's what adults do. That's what parents do. I'm not a parent at all right now, but I can tell you, when I'm a parent, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to see some shit coming down the road. I'm going to see, you know what? My kid 10, and in 3-4 years, he going to be in high school. We got to get him into a better high school than wherever we live at, if that's the case, right? Or we got to go, these kids getting ready to be big. Cause I'm a big ass motherfucker. I'm probably going to date a taller woman. So we going to have tall kids, you feel me? So we can't be in no little ass house. So we got to be in a nice solid house where they got room to grow. People don't think about no shit like that. I think about shit like that.
These niggas nutted at me. What they got to do with you? What they got to do with you? What do we got to do?
We're talking about the point again. You don't listen for shit. We're talking about the point. It got to do with her because she's the taxpayer. She's the taxpayer, and you're getting on Snap, and you're asking the taxpayers to pay for you. You're telling the taxpayers they have to pay for you. That's why she has an issue with it. She's allowed to have that issue. Why can't you understand that? For somebody who's so married and so smart, and you're talking about, but you can't understand nothing in this fucking conversation. And Ham said it the best time. When it comes to a person, when it has something to do with you, so I'm pretty sure this lady was on Snap at one point. That's why she riding so hard. When it has to do with a person and their issue, they can never look past it. They can never look past it and see what the fuck it is. See, the problem is, the thing is with me, I can straight up tell you my fucking issues. And sometimes I can tell you I don't give a fuck. It's just different like that. But my issues is my issues that I got to fix. It's not everybody else's issues. I don't dump on everybody else for the next 18 years and tell the taxpayers, you got to take care of me for the next 18 years because I'm not doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do. That ain't going to happen.
That's how bum people think. People who ain't never paid $30,000 or more in taxes. Always got something to say. People who ain't never had to pay over $30,000 in taxes.
Look, if you're at work right now, why are you on this? Why are you on this panel? She gonna be like, I'm on break, and Hamp asked me to come on, or whatever the fuck it is. Why are you on this panel? If I'm at work, I'm not hopping on no panel to talk to them, you know, before I go back to work. I'm worried about work. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about what I got to do after I get off break. Where I got to go. She says she worked at a nursing home. Who I got to talk to, who I got to transfer, whatever the fuck it is that you got to do. You know, who got to eat, whatever the fuck it is that you do. I'm thinking about work. That's how I am on break. I'm not hopping on no panel. I really will. I don't even like to necessarily call people when I'm on break. I like to just listen to whatever I want to listen to when I'm on break, because I don't want you calling me and pissing me off, and then I got to go back to work and deal with that shit, you know?
Taxes ain't never got something to say. People ain't never owed $60,000 to the government, ain't never got shit to say. Bitches don't pay $60K. Let alone gotta pay the government $60K. Let's get that clear.
Hey, what them Texas?
Motherfuckers who ain't never gotta really deal with Uncle Sam that want to run that shit.
I'm at work right now, you crazy little girl.
All that shit need to be clear, and y'all fucking kids need to eat out the trash like they do in third world countries, so y'all can close y'all fucking legs. That's
you
what
too gangster. You calm down.
Go fucking suffer. That's what it is.
And act more ladylike. You should act more ladylike.
But you wasn't acting ladylike this whole time. This whole panel, you was acting modern woman like. So you was acting modern woman like. You was hitting her with all them attacks this whole time, and finally when she started to say something, now it's, what did I do? What did I do? You're wrong. Are you okay? You need to get checked out. That's some bullshit.
If you acting more ladylike,
aren't we all the one?
If you act, can I talk? Can I talk?
Look at this home. Look at this home, y'all. This is a nice little. See, I wish they had a better picture. Nice little. There's 2 trees out front. They got a garage. I mean, whatever they call them things, a carport. You know what I mean? 3 bedrooms in McAllen. I don't know if McAllen is nice or not. It looked like it got something on the door to keep people out, so it might not be nice. But this how you do it, man. I see why my boy got 2 kids. He always talking about moving to Texas and stuff like that. The difference is between me and him is I would have banded it. You know, his kids started to get too big. They can't be there. I'd have been hopped to Texas and shit. I'd have been told her, hey, we leaving this. We going to Texas. Like, you can get your job. Same job you working at, you could work that shit down in Texas. That's what he need to tell his girl. 3 bedrooms, $1,500. I don't know how much they pay up there where they stay at, but this is pretty damn nice in Brownsville, Texas. This is pretty damn nice right here. One level house. All I'm saying is, you should not be paying $1,500 for a 1 bedroom wherever you at, unless you absolutely want to and you can't afford it. Look, there's a nice luxury apartment not too far from me, and that's around $1,500 for 1 bedroom. You think the fuck I'm going in there? The fuck why? That don't even make no sense. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, I got to looking, and right up the street, there's also some luxury apartments in a nicer area than the area I live in for like $1,000 for a 1 bedroom. I'm going up there.
No. Can I defend myself?
TJ,
there's nothing to defend. If you would actually listen to the stuff she was saying, you would realize. See, and this again, this ingenuous bullshit, this fake bullshit. Because the first thing she said was, "I'm not arguing. I'm not going back and forth with you." And now it's like, can I defend myself? Ain't nobody talking about you. If this isn't you, you're married and your kid is not illegitimate, all that shit, what are you defending?
If you acting more ladylike, maybe you'll have a man too. But you acting ratchet. Why are you
That's also not a good point because a lot of these ratchet women be having men all the time. Remember, a lot of these ratchet women be having a lot of baby daddies nutting them and shit. So what are we talking about here?
We can let anybody fuck us. We can get
Why
pregnant.
you saying no like that?
We don't have to take care of the children. Y'all can take care of the children for us. Y'all can pay our rent for us. Y'all can get the food stamps for us. We don't gotta get an education. We don't gotta get pregnant.
All right, come on, Rel. Come on.
not help because you let her say all this stuff and I don't get
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. I'm trying to figure out if she gonna stop herself, man. It's a co-host show.
Because you just let her rant about you call my children retarded.
I said, well, Tyranny, first and foremost, I said Rel. Hold on. I didn't even say Tyranny name at all.
Respect.
No, I'm saying she's getting to say all this derogatory things about me. I would like to reply before I have to go back to work with your
I never told, but this is what I'm saying, Tyranny. I didn't tell you to be quiet. I asked Rel to stop.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with you, Sherelle. You started going off. See, this is one thing about that I love my husband is that we help each other grow and mature. And before I used to come on these spaces and argue with y'all, I ain't doing it now. I come over here, I give my grown woman opinion and facts, and then I keep it pushing. But the way you speak about mother,
you gave no facts, and you had no opinion. The whole time you were just talking about her when she was giving actual facts and actual opinions, and the panel was backing it up, and you was just attacking her the whole time.
Sherelle, I don't understand it. I know you got your history, maybe your present and your future, but not all mothers operate the same. I know what you mean about people living off the government, but ever since I started working in this industry as an assistant manager at a 55+ senior living property, I realized that it's not only Black people that's on welfare, it's all of it.
Again, nobody said Black people. I mean, you brought that up because you have nothing to add to the conversation. We all know that there's older people on Snap as well. We're talking about the ones that are lazy and don't want to work. That's the ones we're talking about. We're not talking about the older people. I'm pretty sure not one person is ever going to tell you that somebody who's in a 55 living home or somebody who's older and stuff like that shouldn't get the SNAP benefits. I don't think anybody's ever going to say that, I don't think anybody's ever going to say that the kid shouldn't have it. We want the kid to have it, if his parents need it. I would say veterans should have it as well, and disabled people. But we're talking about the ones that are so lazy they don't want to get off their ass and get up and work for 15 to 20 hours a week, because that's what Trump said you got to do to get your SNAP benefits. We're talking about those people. And nobody said, not one time in this conversation did anybody say Black. You're the only person that said Black, which means you have nothing to add to the conversation. We just said people.
Everybody, because we need help. And I know a lot of us are only 30 or 40 on here. You guys have no idea that once you reach 50+, your body starts shutting down. Your brain starts shutting down. Things are not the same when you were young.
That ain't true. That ain't true. 50, you talking about 50+, your brain just starts shutting down? No, that doesn't even make sense, because our life expectancy is like 78, 80 now. So that wouldn't even make sense. You're saying for the next 30 years of our life, we're just going to be stupid? We're just going to be, we're not going to be able to, what? There's people out here that's 55, 65, that still work and go get it. What are you talking about? That's not true. That's not true. Just because there are some people I get in a 55+ senior living facility, but that's not a lot of 55-year-olds. A lot of 50-year-olds and 55-year-olds still out here shaking and baking.
And cute. It's different. So let's stop being so judgmental on mothers, Sherelle, and start understanding that a Section 8 or government assistant is to assist everyone. DJ Help,
It doesn't assist everyone. It assists the people that don't want to help themselves. That's who it helps. It helps the people that don't want to help themselves, and it really should only help the people that can't help themselves, such as the disabled, the elderly, or the vets. You know, 'cause some vets come home from war and they be fucked up, you know, and that's the least America could do is make sure they eat right. You know, we ain't giving them their health care and everything like that. We ain't helping out with nothing. At least they can get that. So she about to say she about to go back to work.
I gotta go back to work as well, my brother. So I love you.
Hold on,
Love you, man. Be
Before you
safe.
leave,
Okay.
Before you leave, Charity.
This dude just gonna ask her about her marriage and shit, but he gonna talk all slow. Look, man, I'm done. Peace, y'all checking me out, listening and shit. Nothing but love. Later.